Hello everyone. Welcome to the lecture of graph theory in which we are going to study about the incidence matrix for a given graph of a given electrical network. So let us try to understand what is the meaning of an incidence matrix or a complete incidence matrix first. As we know that the nodes, branches, loops, these are the basic elements of a graph. So when we convert the given network into a graph, we have all the nodes, the branches, and the loops mentioned in that graph. And we also give the or assume the directions if they are not given in an electrical network, and such type of graph we call as a directed graph. So with the help of this directed graph, we can find out which branches are incident on a particular node. Incident means which branches are connected to a particular node, and what is the orientations of this branches with respect to the nodes. That means the direction of that branch is going away from the node, or it is coming towards the node, and all this is specified in the complete incidence matrix. So basically this incidence matrix tells us which branches are incident at which nodes and what are the orientations of these branches with respect to the nodes, and we represent this complete incidence matrix by capital A suffix small a. So what is the order of this incidence matrix? So the order of this incidence matrix is n by b, where small n represents the number of nodes in that graph and small b represents the number of branches in that graph. So while writing this matrix, on the rows we have total number of nodes, and on the columns we have total number of branches in that network. Now how will we decide the element of that matrix? So each element is based on the orientation. So if we have a branch which is incident on a particular node and it is oriented away from the node, we will represent that element by 1. Remember that away from the node, positive 1. Towards the node, minus 1. And if that branch is not incident on that node, we will simply write 0 as that element. Okay. So now we will consider the example. Okay. We will consider this example of a given graph in which the directions are specified. See, we have total 4 nodes in this: node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, and node number 4. So for this directed graph, there are 4 nodes present and 6 branches are there which are connecting these nodes. So when we want to write incidence matrix, a complete incidence matrix for this, first of all, we will have all the nodes written as the rows and all the branches written as the column. So 4 nodes and 6 columns are forming our matrix. Now we have to decide the elements within this. So let us take an example. We can see that at the node 1, which branches are incident on this node? Branch number 1, branch number 2, and branch number 6. Now we will pay attention to the orientations of this. Let us start. For this first row, we are considering the node 1. Now branch number 1 is oriented away from the node 1. We have seen in the rules that whenever a branch is oriented away from the node, we have to take as 1. So that is why this element is 1. If we will see branch number 2, it is also oriented away from the node. That is why it will also have 1 over here. Now branch number 3 is not connected to node number 1. It is not incident on node number 1. So we have 0. Similarly, 4 and 5 branch numbers are also not incident. So there also we have the element 0. Now coming to branch number 6, it is incident and it is oriented away from the node 1. That is why we have the element 1 over here. Now moving forward to the node number 2. Here is our node number 2. Now we can see that branch number 2, branch number 3 and branch number 4 are incident on node number 2. So let us start writing the values of the element for the second row. Branch number 1 is not incident on node number 2. That is why that element will be taken as 0. Branch number 2 is coming towards the node number 2. It is oriented towards the node number 2. That is why we will have -1. Branch number 3 is oriented away from the node number 2. So you will have +1. Branch number 4 is oriented towards the node number 2. So you will have -1. Branch number 5 and 6 are not incident on node number 2. So we are having zeros over there. Now coming to the node number 3, for our row number 3, branch number 5, 4 and 6 are incident on node number 3. The branch number 1 is not incident, so we have 0. Branch number 2 is not incident, so we have 0. Same for branch number 3. Now coming to branch number 4, it is oriented away. So we are having +1. Branch number 5 is oriented away from the node. So we have +1. And branch number 6 is coming towards the node. That is why we will have -1. Similarly, we have written for the node number 4. Branches 1, 3 and 5 are incident. 1 is coming towards. So we are having -1. 2 is not incident. So it is 0. The 3 is also coming towards and 5 is also coming towards the node. So these two we will have as -1, and the remaining 2 branches, that is 4 and 6, are not incident. So they are considered as 0. So this particular matrix is giving me a complete incidence matrix for this given graph. And we represent the complete incidence matrix by capital A suffix small a. Now you can observe one thing over here, that if you will sum all the elements in a given column, it will give you the answer as 0. Here 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus -1 is 0. Here 1 minus 1 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. Likewise, every column, if you will add, the sum will be zeros. This is the property of your complete incidence matrix. Now, moving to the reduced incidence matrix. Reduced incidence matrix is denoted by capital A, and reduced incidence matrix is nothing but it is obtained simply by eliminating any one of the rows of your complete incidence matrix capital A suffix small a. Out of this complete incidence matrix, if you remove any one row, you get a matrix which is of the order n-1 cross B. Okay, n-1 rows and B columns, that you call as either reduced incidence matrix or simply incidence matrix. Now, as we have seen the definition of trees in the previous lecture, trees are subgraph which consist of all the nodes, and it contains only those branches which will not form a loop within that subgraph. Such a subgraph is called as tree. So how many number of trees are possible for a given graph? So it is given by determinant of a matrix. When you multiply a reduced incidence matrix A with its own transpose, and whatever is the resultant matrix, if you take its determinant, that number will give you the number of possible trees for a given graph. So this is the application of our incidence matrix.